When I arrived at Foundation Academy, this side of Orlando, for my first head of school gig in 2007, I was greeted by a young lady that had been teaching just a couple of years and was now moving into leadership in the role of guidance counselor. If you were an adult in 2007, 2008, you know that due to the crash, no industries or ministries were adding to their staffing ranks. Accordingly, we operated with a skeleton crew during my 6 years there, and that young lady was an integral part of our team. Only God knew we would be reunited years later at Cambridge. That still young lady is Mrs. Melody Shiver, our Director of Guidance and College Placement. Mrs. Shiver has become one of the preeminent guidance counselors in the country. She has never lost sight of the primary reasons CCS exists, and her primary focus is facilitating and encouraging the process for students to go precisely where the Lord is leading them after high school. She develops strong interpersonal relationships with every student, and alumni stay connected. In our broader society, it is more difficult to find people that truly care. Melody epitomizes care for others. Lancerville is blessed to have her. Stick around to hear what college matriculation looks like for Cambridge these days, how to best prepare your kids, and get to know one of the topmost sources of care on the Lancer campus. Cambridge Christian School is an independent private Christian school in Tampa, Florida for students 1-year-old through 12th grade that partners with families and the local church to provide a kingdom education, thereby preparing students for college and life. Melody, have you ever heard me be that nice to you before?
I haven't, Mr. Rinks. Can't say that I have, no.
Oh, that's not true. Many times I've been very nice. I might not have said it at that length, though. But thank you for joining us today despite that.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
So you and your husband, Brent, are invested at Cambridge way beyond your employment. Tell us about your family, their involvement here, and why Cambridge is important to you.
So my husband and I have 2 boys. We are now all high school. So I have a young man that is going to be a high school freshman and a young man that is going to be a junior in high school. We have been at Cambridge. They will both graduate as lifers soon. So that's pretty crazy to think about how long we have been there. But they're both very involved. My older son is involved in fine arts and loves the fine arts. He's on the bowling team. My younger son is hardcore live or die baseball. So we are involved in that area as well. And this last year, my husband even got suckered into helping coach baseball for a season. So.
Yeah, and he did a great job from what I understand. Well, when you were first exposed, when were you first exposed to the Christian school world? And what difference did it make in your life?
Well, I was pretty much born into the Christian school world. My dad was the head of a Christian school for as long as I can remember. So I grew up going to Christian schools. It's really all I have ever known. So when my husband and I were first talking about where our boys would go to school, for me, it was a no-brainer that Christian school is just part of life. It's what you did. It was just integral in raising our family. And so we've been at it since, I was a wee little one.
Yeah, so your dad was head of school there at the First Academy, which was, of course, at the time, and some would still argue, like the happening Christian school in the Orlando area. Foundation Academy has risen quite a bit since those days, but the First Academy at the time was, it seemed, leaps and bounds ahead of all Christian schools in maybe every area. A lot of that probably had to do with your dad, but you got to have a great experience there as a result of it, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Both of my brothers and I graduated from the First Academy in Orlando back in the early 2000s.
So we're speaking about your dad, the esteemed Mr. Ed Gamble. He was actually the man who introduced me to Kingdom Education, the book, the annual conference, and those biblical principles of education. He did that just before I arrived at Foundation, and the Lord used that to cast a vision for me as I stepped into my first role as head of school. How did the Lord use your father to guide you into success serving in Christian schools?
I would say my dad has been a sounding board for me for many years. As you know, Christian education isn't always the easiest. There's a number of obstacles that come your way, and Satan really tries to throw you off your path or make you feel like you aren't doing enough and that I really think my dad has been the sounding board to kind of help balance that out throughout the years to tell you that you're there for a purpose.
Yeah, I mom isn't too shabby either, right?
No, my mom is
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
great source of
Yes.
support for sure. Well, beyond guidance and college placement, in what other areas of student life are you involved each year?
So I oversee our director of student activities and am involved in lots of different areas of student life. Um, every year I go on some number of trips that we do, whether that be the Keys trip or the eighth grade DC trip. I'm always on a trip at J term. I help out with plays and musicals.
How about one thing that comes to mind that you're always, I guess probably Miss Gabby runs point on these things now, but you're always, it seems, very active with senior surprises and
Oh,
all
yes,
those
those
kinds
are
of
my
things.
babies. Yes.
Right.
You
Okay.
love those.
Yes.
You brought
Yes.
those with you from
Yes.
Foundation or
Yes.
yeah,
So we actually did those things when I was a senior at the First
at
Academy.
TFA. Okay.
And so I brought a number of them. Actually, it was very interesting. I just sent all the senior parents an email because we're redoing all the floors in our house. And I found an old box with memories from my high school. And I found the letters that my parents wrote to me for my senior
Aw.
retreat
Nice.
that I had saved through all these years, and pictures of like my senior surprises and our senior lunches. And so, anyway, that's where it started, was at TFA. But it
Okay.
was I brought those here because I knew they were memorable things for me that made me love my school, and I wanted to make senior year a place that was really valuable and treasured and full of memories for our kiddos.
Well, and it is certainly from my perspective unlike any place else. Everything that happens for our senior class, and not only the occasional surprises, but the senior walk and clap out and all those things. We do them like nobody else does.
And for those who don't know, you actually do. My favorite is the throwback.
Oh yes,
I love that. So
Yes.
you do like this whole thing where it's everything from their childhood, food, music, games. So kids sit out there and they have all these like,
and now we actually
Throwbacks.
pair that one with the first graders. So
Oh,
we
okay.
allow them to get together with their first grade buddy either before or after that lunch.
Nice.
So for anyone just tuning in that heard the voice you might not recognize, that was Mrs. Marty Premer. Just as a reminder, she's our sidekick.
Not
for
a
the
sidekick,
broadcast.
co-host.
We're in
co-host.
a new studio today, and we'd be remiss not to thank the edit wizard, Mr. Larry Wazicki, who is helping make this happen at his studio here in town in Tampa. But Miss Marty has always been a part of this broadcast. You just don't always know it, but she might chime in on occasion. So back to Miss Melody. Provide for us a glimpse into the comprehensive guidance program implemented at Cambridge. What it entails, what grade level it begins in, etc.
Sure. So we start working with the students and families in really sixth grade as they go into seventh grade. We do a sneak peek for them to welcome them to middle school. We start talking to them about schedules. In eighth grade, we do what's called high school prep for success. So my colleague and our ninth and 10th grade advisor, Mrs. Erin Schlauk, we tag team meeting with the eighth graders. We go into their Bible class once a week, and we talk to them all about what it means to be in high school and transcripts and GPA and honor societies, all the different things that make up a high school experience. And we lay out their 4 years of coursework and kind of what their dreams and aspirations are. We do a little college research so they have an idea of the setting the goals. And then Erin, our ninth and 10th grade advisor, she meets with the students one-on-one, every ninth grade student and their family as they're coming into Cambridge or into ninth grade, so that she gets to know who they are and their passions and their dreams and kind of the things that they find their strengths and weaknesses. She checks back in with them in 10th grade before she passes them along to me. We also in 9th and 10th grade do a roadmap to college meeting for the parents, where we give kind of big picture overviews about college expectations and what students need to do to stay on the right track and to graduate and to get into the schools that they hope to get into. We do a meeting for students in 9th or 10th grade that are hoping to pursue college athletics to give them an idea. Many people believe planning for athletics in college starts later in high school than it actually does. So we start talking to them about that early in ninth grade. And then in 11th grade, they come to me, and we do a big college night where I give a presentation to kind of outline expectations and what's going on. And then we bring in a college panel where the parents and students get to question and answer with the experts themselves. And then we sit down one-on-one, usually for like 45 minutes to an hour, to talk about that student's specific goals and dreams and aspirations and test scores and classes, where they're at, where they're going, how to get there, how to finish strong. And then there's just a lot of interaction senior year of helping with applications, and we do a college boot camp in the summer so that if students want to take advantage of that. We do lots of little things here or there where we meet to talk about standardized testing on a coffee with the counselor, or we may talk about some hot topic that's coming up that's surfacing in the world. Just schedule questions. We really try to be an individualized plan where we get to know the students and their families so that we can best serve them and point them in the right direction.
Amazing. And so you have a team, what is it, 7 or 8 people that do all these things?
That's so funny. No.
No?
So we have Aaron Schlauk, our 9th and 10th grade advisor, and Judy Watson is our registrar. And then now on the guidance team is Miss Gabby Delgado, who handles our student activities.
Okay. And you're running point for the whole
And I run
match.
point. Yes, sir.
So to what or whom do you attribute your expertise in the world of guidance and college placement?
I would say the year I met you, it kind of fell into my lap, and I had started thinking about doing college guidance because I was really young at the time and working with a lot of juniors and seniors in my classroom, and so they would ask me a lot of questions. So that's where it kind of kick-started, was just for them interacting with me and asking me a lot of questions and me just talking to them as my students. But then I went to a Kingdom School Institute in Texas, and I met a lady named Jan Miranda. And Jan Miranda was like the queen of college guidance at the time, and she had served on college boards, board of trustees, and she knew everyone and anyone. At the time, if it had to do with college admissions and you dropped the name Jan Miranda, you were in. And so I picked her brain and spent numerous hours just getting to know her, getting to understand how she did things and why she did things, and learning from her. And then she introduced me to another gentleman that was in the college circuit. He was on the opposite side of the table, so he was on the college side. And then I pursued a certification with NACAP, which is a Christian partnership that works with colleges and high schools.
Okay, awesome. Well, what have you seen change over the years in terms of what colleges are seeking? What are the primary criteria the schools consider now when weighing acceptance?
I would say I don't know that it's drastically changed. I think the standards get higher every year. Admissions gets a little bit more competitive each and every year. I think if you were to ask college professionals these days, honestly, they want students with integrity and character. And students with grit that they feel the generations coming up just don't have that. And so they're looking for in applications where they can see that a student has grit or determination or is really willing to dig in.
What's an application like that consist of? What would they see on an application that would indicate that?
I was going to say that too.
Usually it would be through either the teacher references where they talk about that, or in the activities that the student has done. So I know back in the day, it was common, at least when I was in high school, that you were supposed to kind of be involved in everything and be this well-rounded student. And really they are looking for maybe a well-niched student that
finds their passion
and really goes hard after it and kind of spends all their time digging in, finding leadership roles, making ways to show change or to impact the world through their passion and their love.
Yeah, so it is different. I remember for my oldest, my recollection and understanding at the time anyway was more be as involved as you can be in as many things as you
Extracurriculars.
can be. Yeah, I mean, obviously leadership opportunities, but student government, I just everything you could sign up for everything, and by the way, do everything really well.
Hmm.
But now it's more they're looking for a student that's kind of found their niche. You're saying,
Yeah,
okay,
I tell our students all the time in high school prep for success that I draw a kind of a circle on the board and put little circles inside. And I say, if these are all well-rounded students, look at all the gaps within this whole class. That colleges have kind of figured out that if you're well-angled, then you're more like a piece of pie within that big circle. And so you fill up more of the real estate if they find different well-angled kids, that they don't want a whole bunch of kids that are kind of good at everything. They'd rather have kids that are totally passionate and sold out for one or two things.
Interesting.
well, historically, Christian schools have received criticism and sometimes fairly for not sending students to top schools across the country. Where does Cambridge rank right now in that department? Do our students gain acceptance to competitive schools?
Absolutely. Yes,
I, of
sir.
course, know the answers to some of these things, but
Yeah.
you're the one to talk about it, so please go ahead.
Yes, they do. Every year we have students that get accepted to great and really competitive schools.
Okay.
I know I get asked that question all the time because I don't think students always select to attend there. So
That's important. Yeah.
our top students don't always elect to attend the, maybe from outsiders' view, the best school
Ivy
from a
League
college ranking. Yes. But usually often these days students follow the money.
Okay. Well,
You
that
mean
was gonna
scholarships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there, with our kids in particular, other than choosing the affordable option, are there other reasons they would choose not to go to that quote unquote elite school and stay or go somewhere else?
I think also ever since COVID, I think kids stay closer to home than they used to. I think there is a little bit more of a tie to home. I can't exactly pinpoint the why, but more and more students I meet with, when I ask them, okay, where do you want to go? And I start by talking to them about where geography wise, right? What states can you cross states off? And I can't tell you how many students I meet with that tell me I don't want to leave Florida. And I don't know if it's weather or
I was going to say it is a
parents.
great state, but
I wonder if that'll last. Maybe get kind of past the COVID era and the kids that were students, or, middle or high school kids when that came through. I wonder how long term that will be. I guess we'll see.
Yep, we will.
Well, how are Lancer students trending in terms of AP exam pass rates, SAT, ACT scores, and other criteria that schools are looking for?
I think we have some really great students. Our AP pass rates this year and for the past several years have been increasing. So this year we were 88% pass rate, which, if you don't know, is really excellent. That
that's
is
top.
That is incredible pass rate, and our kids are just excelling. And every year I think we see increases that
Yeah.
our kids are getting more and more competitive. They're stepping up their game. They're working hard, and they're just really using those gifts the Lord gave them.
I think 5 straight years. I know 5 straight years and maybe more. I just haven't looked back that far that we've increased.
Yes, sir.
And this year was a significant jump
Yes, sir.
to 88, which if for anyone that doesn't know, and most probably wouldn't, that is the 88 is not only excellent, it's very competitive with anyone in town
Yes.
and outside of town. But
Yes.
thinking of Tampa schools, what are, what perceived to be the high-end prep schools in town, on those AP pass rates, we're right there with them. So it's exciting to see. Well, in recent years, we've had a number of students accepted to top schools that then chose to stay local, but I guess we've already talked about that, so I'm not going to go down that path again. What's your personal philosophy that steers how you guide students in making college pursuits and selections?
I really want students to go where the Lord is calling them and where He's going to use them. So my personal philosophy is really to try and get to know the kiddos and their heart and their dreams, their goals for their life, and for them to really pursue those things. So maybe not to go where is known, but to go where they're going to fit the best spiritually, academically, financially, and just as like a whole school environment, culture experience.
Where the best fit will be for them. And you can only do that. You can only encourage that if you do know them well.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're a guidance counselor, college placement. How often do you find yourself providing guidance in areas of life that have nothing to do with post-high school education? And how have you seen these needs change over the years?
I think when you are intentional about relationships and the students know you're genuine and that you care about them, they'll talk to you about any number of things. Sometimes kids are just having a bad day and just need to come sit down and get a hug or chat through a test that didn't go so well, or a boyfriend that broke up with you, or whatever the case may be. There's a wide range of conversations I have. And usually just kind of like that sounding board that knows they'll love on them, pray with them when they need it, and just be there without judgment.
Awesome. Well, as an educator and as a parent, why do Christian schools matter? And why is Cambridge special to you?
So, to me and my husband, Cambridge is an extension of our family. That we moved to Tampa and didn't have any family in Tampa. Our family is all still in Orlando. So when we moved to Tampa for me to come and work at Cambridge, Cambridge became our extended family. And I told you they've been here since K4, and first grade. So those teachers have been an extension of our family. And I knew that those teachers, every day when I dropped my boys off, were going to love them like I would and like Jesus would, and would encourage them, and that I wouldn't have to bring them home and undo things that they had learned throughout the day, that it was a safe place where they were going to be nurtured and spurred on towards the calling that Jesus has on their life. And we've roped in the whole family, as you know, and so I think Cambridge is just a special place for our family. As a parent, I can't wait for my kids to graduate. I'm so excited. We've never lived in any place as a family for 10 years. Usually after about 5 years, God moves us somewhere else. So I'm really excited that the Lord has us here, and that the boys will get to be lifers, that they'll get to walk across the stage and claim that title. So it's exciting for us.
Well, don't rush them to graduation.
I know.
Enjoy it. It goes so fast.
Every moment. Yeah, just take every moment. Well, Miss Melody, I know from personal observation for many, many years now that you pour your entire self into service at Cambridge, whatever school you're at, but right now at Cambridge, and hopefully for the distant future. But thank you. You are an inspiration to many, and thank you for doing this with us.
My pleasure.
I know you begged to do it.
Sure.
So make it available to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Melody.
Thank you for joining us today. The vision at Cambridge Christian School is to develop students into fearless defenders of the faith in partnership with their parents and the Bible-believing church community, so that generations will know and serve God and recognize the truth and authority of the Bible. Go Lancers!